This is 9 on your side at 5.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Ryan Peterson. Thanks so much for joining us. Setting the bar higher means last year's standardized test scores are lower for most students across our state. Public school officials released the scores today. Our Katie Banks is breaking it all down for you. She's live at the Pitt County Board of Education with more. Katie.
Yeah, Ryan, this new assessment finds that fewer than half of students in the 3rd grade or higher scored as proficient. Now that's on end of grade and end of course tests like reading, math, science, and English. Most students rated as proficient in just 2 tests out of 18. Now this new report shifts focus away from getting children ready for the next grade and instead focuses on getting them ready for college and careers. It tests the Common Core standards, which are, more rigorous, and it makes it more difficult for some students to reach those proficient levels. While test scores did drop, however, more than 71% of public schools met or exceeded academic growth expectations. Now that number in comparison reflects the progress students made during the course of the school year. Pitt County, where I am, scored a 38.8% for proficiency and 76% for growth. I talked with Pitt County Superintendent Ethan Lanker today about what he plans to improve those scores.
Well, the next step will be to take individual students and look at objectives by schools and by teachers, and we'll look at teachers that were very successful and use their practices and their skills to help teach other teachers.
Now, schools will have 30 days to give your child their scores, so just be patient. Coming up at 6 o'clock, we're going to talk more about how schools across the East performed on these tests. For now in Pitt County, Katie Banks, 9 on your side.
Katie, thanks so much. A separate study coincidentally released today tells a slightly different story. It shows North Carolina students performing right along with the national average. 4th and 8th grade students performed dead in line with the national average for math and reading on the 2013 National Assessment of Educational Progress. Our state superintendent, June Atkinson, says these numbers come in handy when comparing our students to their peers in other states. Elections are over, but political signs still line the streets. But by this time next week, those signs could be against the law. Regulations keep tabs on how big signs can be and where they can go up, but those regulations change depending on where you live. And the timetable for when the signs must come down also changes from town to town. State law says signs near highways must be removed 10 days after the election. Local laws get even more specific. In most cities across the East, the signs should be gone 7 to 10 days after the election. So if you're a campaign volunteer or candidate, contact your city office to find out your town's sign expiration date. Time now for a first look at our forecast. We join Chief Meteorologist David Sawyer in the Forecast Center with more on what to expect the rest of the week. It started off cold, warmed up a bit. We had some rain today. And what's it looking like for the weekend?
I'd say roller coaster.
Roller coaster. We've been talking about colder going into tomorrow night.
That's right. So we're going to need the jackets, Ryan, as we head on into the latter part of the work week. Here's a look at the current temperatures. Certainly feeling spring-like still. You can definitely know then that the cold front has not crossed the 9 on your side viewing area. We're still in the upper 60s to lower 70s, feeling on the spring-like side into this Thursday evening. But on the doorstep, the cold air is coming. We have dew point readings, much drier air now working into the western reaches of the 9 on your side viewing area. This dry air indicative of what is coming tonight and into Friday. Yes, it's going to clear our skies out into this evening, and with those clearer skies, we'll go with a slight chance of a sprinkle short term, then mid-evening to late evening with a clear sky. Temperatures tumble into the 40s even by 11 o'clock. Coming up, more on the cool weekend weather, and we'll take you all the way to Veterans Day as well.
Excellent. Thank you, David. We'll see you then. Now, you're familiar with the triad and the triangle, but what about Quad East? That's a phrase growing in popularity, one that local leaders are using to expand the economy. Now, on your side's Andrew Ruiz in the newsroom now to update us on this economic development plan. Andrew.
Ryan, the triad and triangle use their names to their advantage, and that's the same concept being employed here. By teaming up together, Greenville, Wilson, Goldsboro, and Kinston believe they can attract more businesses to the east. This week, leaders from those counties and municipalities met to announce their complete support for the first phase of the project, I-785. Mayor Alan Thomas, Commissioner Mac Doughty, and Mayor Steve Tripp say it's about connecting the dots. They say if you're able to connect places like Seymour Johnson Air Force Base to Vidant to the Global Trans Park, more business will locate here.
Everybody sees that this is the future. This is a vision of where Eastern North Carolina needs to go.
We are going to compete with the triad, and we are going to compete with the triangle, and we're going to do an outstanding job. And by putting our resources together, we're going to bring jobs that's needed in the community.
The group recently signed a joint resolution to move forward with this major transportation project. Their hope is to have it built by 2020, and of course that's if they can get the support from the feds and the state. Live in the newsroom, Andrew Ruiz, 9 on your side.
Thank you, Andrew. New technology from North Carolina could change the way you go through airport security. Research at Duke University labs could soon revolutionize the TSA. The new tech would allow agents to screen you as you walk down the terminal at a normal pace. Agents would only stop you if the sensors in the walls detected something dangerous on your person. There's even one X-ray device now in the works that will help screeners identify the exact type of metal it detects.
For us, it's essential to the concept of being an engineer is to make sure that we have real impact. But for it to get into actual airports is just very, very important and exciting for us.
Researchers say technology is now at the point where things can be made or improved on in just a matter of weeks. New beginnings for a wounded warrior with local ties. Nathan Rimpf got the keys to his new house today in Raleigh. Here's some pictures from today's ceremony. We first told you about Rimpf back in 2011. The Army Ranger and ECU grad stepped on an IED and lost both his legs in Afghanistan. Rimpf is the sixth person to receive a house from Operation Coming Home, a local project aimed at creating homes for disabled combat veterans. 9 on your side's Kristen Hunter takes us on a tour of Rimpf's new house.
They've been planning it for weeks. A special way to let Army Ranger Nathan Rimpf know we're thinking of you, we're praying for you, and the best is yet to come.
I'm just real excited for him. It's quite the ending to a really special year and a half.
A year and a half since his life changed. While serving in Afghanistan, Rimpf stepped on an IED. Both his legs had to be amputated. He moves around freely on prosthetic legs now, and a friend suggested he stop by the house in Raleigh built just for him. Rimpf was about to see the fully furnished inside for the first time. The builder, Chesapeake Homes, partners, and vendors all there to see his reaction.
Oh my gosh.
Surprise.
Mom. Thank you. When I walked in, I'd never seen it fully finished like this, and it took my breath away. It's one of those moments I'll remember.
Sometimes Rimpf uses a wheelchair. The 2,900 square foot home is built to accommodate.
Nice, Nathan.
Oh my gosh.
Rimpf thought he had to go furniture shopping, but thanks to local stores, all rooms are furnished. He won't move in until January since he still travels back and forth from Walter Reed Medical Center in Maryland and is waiting to medically retire from the Army. Then he plans to come home to Raleigh, go to grad school, and get his MBA.
Thank you doesn't exactly do it enough justice. Just want you to know that I want you to look at this as more of an investment, because I'm going to try to do something with all this I've been given.
Kristen Hunter, 9 on your side.
Awesome. Politicians, business leaders, and many other people of faith are celebrating an icon's birthday.
The son of a North Carolina dairy farmer, Billy Graham, turns 95 today.
It's birthday bash time for America's pastor. How he's celebrating and what's next for the legendary preacher. Plus, the North Carolina Zoo is getting a new animal. She's large and enjoys swimming in cold water. What she is and when you can see her in person.
Forecast turning cooler heading into the final day of our work week. We'll have those details plus your weekend. Right now, the cooler air building into the western sections of the 9 on your side viewing area. 68 in Greenville, and temperatures will be tumbling into the evening hours.
You're watching 9 on your side News at 5 with Ryan Peterson, Chief Meteorologist David Sawyer, and Brian Bailey Sports.
The North Carolina Zoo will soon have a new resident. Patches, a 25-year-old female polar bear from the Erie Zoo in Pennsylvania, will come to the Tar Heel State. Over the past 2 years, the Asheboro Zoo has spent more than $8 million to renovate and expand the polar bear habitat. But then our 2 polar bears died from stomach problems. The zoo's curator of mammals says it's a large undertaking to move a polar bear. He expects to have Patches in her new home by the end of the month. Happy 95th birthday to North Carolina's very own Billy Graham. Nearly 1,000 folks showed up for his birthday party in Asheville today, Guests included Donald Trump, Rupert Murdoch, Sarah Palin, Bill Clinton, and more. Graham's message made him one of the most high-profile religious leaders of the past 20th century. So much so, he's popularly known as America's pastor. In about an hour, guests will see the premiere of Graham's new 30-minute program entitled The Cross. And you know, I can only hope to be going as he's still going at 95 years of age.
95.
It's impressive, isn't it?
It is, and certainly happy birthday to Reverend Graham. Absolutely right, Ryan. And certainly chilly. I'm sure he's had plenty of birthdays that have been cold, especially at the mountain location where he resides now. And as we'll point out here in the east, we are certainly on the warm side for the moment. We did reach those spring-like temperatures today. We talked about us reaching into the 70s, and that's exactly where we went this afternoon. But the cooler air is on the doorstep. We'll talk about this cold front that's currently in the central portion of our state. It's going to continue to sweep across the 9 on your side viewing area into the evening hours, and as it does, skies will clear from west to east, and much cooler weather comes in behind, with this temperature taking a nosedive into Friday, also as forecast. Now, here's the latest with Live Viper 9. See the showers, waving those goodbye as they move out into the Atlantic for the evening hours. So rain chances are going down. Cooler air spilling in behind this front. Now, this is not frigid Arctic air for the time being, but it will be significantly cooler versus the 70s we felt today. We're talking clearing skies tonight with overnight lows dipping to the upper 30s to lower 40s inland, mid to upper 40s toward the coast, and still likely some mid 50s along the Outer Banks to start the day on Friday. Lots of sunshine. Enjoy the day to finish our work week with afternoon highs, struggling though to reach the mid to upper 50s. Factor in a northwest and north wind, which will be blowing around 10 miles per hour inland, up to 15 to 20 miles per hour toward the coast. You're going to need to think about the jacket. Even though the skies will be blue, gorgeous through the day, those highs in the 50s certainly making it feel like mid to late fall. And even on into Friday night, clear skies and calming winds. Heading out for any evening plans, whether it be touchdown Friday high school football action or any other activities you have scheduled, think about a winter-like feel with readings in the 30s by mid to late evening inland. Low to mid 40s closer to the coast, and still upper 40s to lower 50s at the beaches for Friday night. Now your forecast heading into Friday and beyond. We're talking about temperatures on Saturday on the cool side. Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium, a great place to be for homecoming football action. ECU taking on Tulsa with highs in the afternoon with near 60 degrees, but with the game kicking off at 3:45, going to need to think about much cooler weather heading into Saturday night. Sunny Sunday, and even Veterans Day Monday looking really good.
Sitting in that sunshine at the game is going to feel nice too.
Good point. That's right. Yeah. If you're over on the opposite side where the sun is coming down, it'll try to warm you up a little bit.
All right. Thank you, David. More than 67 million of us deal with runny noses, sneezing, and more, all because of allergies. Why recent weather in the east is making it tough for many of you to breathe, and how you can get help. Plus, bullying doesn't end in middle school, or high school for that matter. The grown men in trouble for going too far with a teammate, and what the NFL is doing to make locker rooms safe.